Right, so I wanted to jump on here and give a testimony. Let me turn this down a wee bit. So my son, this is about my son. So my son had left the job to go and work elsewhere, ended up getting sacked from that job, and in the middle of all this he had actually got himself a mortgage, and he's also expecting a wee baby, and he's really panicking about, Mum, how am I going to afford this and what's going on, and I was like, Daniel, when God shuts a door, he always opens another one, because he doesn't want you making mistakes. I said, have you prayed about it? I think my kids are sick listening to me going, have you prayed about it? Because I'm not going to go and say your prayers for you. I will pray, but this is something that's going on in your life, so ask God to help you. And he was like, I have. I said, be patient, apply for other jobs, and what's not for you, it'll just not work. And if God has something for you, it might just be a timing thing. So he went ahead and he applied to a whole load of places. Some he didn't get any reply. Others he did get reply, went for the interviews. I think he'd actually secured a job in B&Q, but there was an issue with the contract. The contract that they had sent him was like the wrong hours, things like that. And he was like, oh, this is going to be another week waiting. And he'd had another interview for a big corporate bank, actually. And he'd gone to that interview and he thought it had gone quite well. And he said, I haven't heard nothing back. And he says, and what if B&Q offer me a job here and give me the hours and stuff, and then, and this big bank gives me a job, and what, I'm gonna have to work notice there, and this is just like a mess, Mum. And I was like, Daniel, you're just having no patience. I said, have you spoke to God about it? And he says, yes, I have. And he actually said that. He was like, I just have no patience. Because in his mind, he's worrying about his mortgage payments, and this baby's coming in a couple of months' time, and he's trying to sort his house out and stuff. And he is a worker, so he would do delivery driving, like for Domino's Pizza. He was doing odd jobs. He was never without work. He was always eager to work, but he'd sort of found himself in this limbo. And B&Q had sent him the wrong contract. It was like a 15-hour contract, and he was like, that's not what they said they were giving me. So we were still waiting for this here to come back, but he phoned me yesterday, and he said the big corporate bank had got back to him and offered him a job, and he was like, I'm going to take it. And I was like, that's good, brilliant. He gets a load of benefits with it, and there's a lot of opportunity for promotion and things like this here. And I was like, great, happy days. As you say, you were worrying about that whole thing with the B&Q contract, and that's just not where you were supposed to be going. He actually ended up doing a lot of training with them and got like qualified in different things, and hadn't even worked for them, which is quite funny because I laughed. I was like, God doesn't waste your time. God always gives you something else to be learning and to be achieving while you're in the wait. Don't waste the wait. And of course he got the contract, the job offer with the bank, and got the contract with B&Q through, and he was like, I know what I need to do, I'm not taking that job at B&Q because actually they give me the hours that I wanted, but they've decreased the pay. They haven't been honest and haven't kept their side of the bargain for the price per hour. And I was like, well then, there you go, Daniel, like you won't miss it. And I say this because maybe other people have got these decisions to make, but you won't miss it. Don't ever be frightened that you'll miss God's move in your life. So apologies sent to B&Q that he wasn't going to take the contract with them, and he sent an email to the bank saying, yes, I'll take that job. So he was still waiting to hear back with an official contract to sign, and he phoned me today and he says, Mum, you won't believe this. And I was like, right, what's going on now? There's always a story. And he says, they've offered me even more money than what they did when I applied for the job. And I was like, seriously? He was like, yeah, they're paying me like a couple of £1,000 more per year. And I was like, well, there you go. Right decision made. You can't miss it. And when you're obedient to God and you're waiting to see what provision he's making, because only he can open doors that we can't. How could my son have known months ago that a job opportunity was going to come up in that bank. It was not on the radar at all. He was just applying for random jobs, and actually had met a friend that worked for the same bank and was able to give him sort of advice around types of questions and answers. So he was completely set up for working in this place. And he also didn't want to really work in somewhere where he would be outside because he didn't like the cold. He wanted an office job. Who wants an office job? I don't know, but he did. And it was so close to home as well. It was so convenient, and they allowed him to do hybrid working. So he can actually be at home some of the week and he doesn't have to go in every single day. So it's obviously going to be so much better for when he has his wee one as well. So I say that don't give up. Seek and you'll find. Keep seeking God's face and he will find the answer for you. He will give you the answer. You'll not miss it. And always remember to say thank you. You should have a thankful heart for these things when we start to see the hand of God moving in your life. And I'll always say that to my kids. Try not to preach at them, but didn't you ask and didn't God deliver? Always say thank you. Don't ever forget God when he brings you your blessings. So now he'll be starting a permanent position. Probably be virtually impossible to sack him, but they'll not, because he's a smart boy. And I think this will open up a lot of opportunities for him, but just a testimony to say God is so good. And even when he's not like day-to-day run-of-the-mill, you can see his hands in other people's lives and just appreciate so much what he does for us as people. Never seen the righteous forsaken or their children begging bread. None of my children have ever begged for bread. There's no truer word. It was David had said that. Yeah. So we thank God for his blessings. We thank God for his favour in our lives. We thank God that not only has he got us covered, but he's got our children covered. So yeah, I think that was a good testimony this week.